What creatine does is it helps with cellular energy production. So that's what we're going to talk about. It is essentially a phosphate source when your muscles are being stressed in the context of exercise. If we look here, you have your liver, you have your gut. We'll just put gut here, okay? So you have two ways that you get creatine in your body. Your liver is going to make it through a complex mechanism that's beyond the scope of this conversation, from the amino acids in your diet and so forth. And also you're going to ingest creatine in animal products that you eat. So what happens is there's this CRT, the creatine transporter here. This is just a very simplified version of a muscle cell or a heart cell, cardiomyocyte, or a glial cell. So once creatine gets into the cell, it actually gets phosphorylated to phosphocreatine. Again, we're not changing anabolic hormones. It's not going to the hair follicle and zapping it. It's only increasing levels of phosphocreatine. So that when your muscles are under load, especially if you're doing supersets or intervals or very intense weightlifting that is anaerobic, right? If you're just walking normal, phosphocreatine and the creatine system is not really going to help fuel those muscular activities. It's high intensity, short duration weightlifting, sprinting, CrossFit. That's where creatine helps. It's essentially a source of phosphate when ATP is in short supply. When you're moving your muscles, when I'm doing this right now, what is catalyzing that myocyte to move? Well, it's the release of phosphate that helps the energy carried within adenosine triphosphate, and the release when that phosphate molecule comes off, that finances or catalyzes and makes the muscular contractions happen. Well, when ATP is in short supply because you're doing interval training, because you're supersetting, because you're lifting heavier weights, you're getting progressive overload and implementing progressive overload principles, this is where this phosphate source from phosphocreatine helps. It's just like a piggyback. It's like, hey, look, ATP, I know you're in short supply, we gotcha. Phosphocreatine is helping to give you some of that phosphorus that can be used to make ATP under anaerobic conditions. It's not going to damage the kidneys. It's not doing all these things that many people have talked about. So if you want to improve your exercise performance, if you want to get a little bit more oomph from your workouts, potentially improve a little water retention, because creatine is involved with hydration. And it's worth noting here, this receptor here called the creatine transporter, it does rely upon potassium, magnesium, and I believe chloride, and I'm not sure about sodium, but I believe sodium is involved in facilitating the intracellular uptake of creatine.